didn't give but $4.25, we gonna get to you today. Touch a neighbor and say, this is the day of giving. I'm trying to do it orderly. So if you're in the line, your total doesn't equal 2,000, you can just slip out while ain't nobody looking right now.
Sebuah video yang merekam acara donasi gereja itu memantik perdebatan publik di Amerika Serikat. Pastor Marvin Winans terdengar mengeluhkan nominal donasi seorang jemaat perempuan yang hanya senilai $1.235.000 Amerika atau sekitar 20,4 juta rupiah.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfected Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Tak lama setelah video itu viral, Pastor Marvin Winans memberikan klarifikasi. Menurutnya, ia tidak mengkritik nilai sumbangan jemaat. Ia menjelaskan bahwa di gerejanya ada kebiasaan mengelompokkan jemaat dengan membariskan mereka berdasarkan nominal sumbangan yang diberikan. Hal itu dilakukan sebagai bagian dari mekanisme pengelolaan acara amal. Dan menurut Pastor Winans, jemaat perempuan itu dianggap salah memasuki barisan sesuai instruksi acara dan menegaskan bukan karena nominal sumbangannya terlalu kecil.
I was calling because the whole church was giving and it was our day of giving and the whole church was coming and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that, so I was calling them by increments and we had someone that had given out of before and I corrected it and I told everybody to listen and come when you call, and that's all that was.
Meski demikian, klarifikasi pastoral itu tidak meredam kemarahan publik. Banyak yang menilai tindakan mengelompokkan jemaat berdasarkan kemampuan memberi sebagai sesuatu yang diskriminatif.
I disagree with all of it.
She did it wrong, but it still sounds nasty.
I don't think you should put a number on it. Just let people donate. Let people know what it is that you need, right? He said he needs something for the church. And then people donate whatever it is they can donate. I don't think he should put a number on it or line people up and say people with 1,000 go here and people with this go here.
That's what it seemed like,
just let people donate.
I guess he's going to look at it that I was trying to shout them out for giving that money, but like Charlamagne said, it shouldn't matter. It should matter what you give. And if all I have is $700 to give and I give $700 and that's my last, you should be grateful.
Bagi sebagian orang, pengalaman semacam itu membuat mereka enggan mengunjungi gereja.
You can't put a number on somebody's offering. You know what I mean?
What somebody got.
What somebody got. And you're putting pressure on them because some of these people will spend their last little bit of money,
you
know, sowing a seed in the church. Like, just tell me, hey, the church needs something. And whoever wants to offer. If you got it to offer it. If you got it to donate it. If not, you know, keep it moving.
But that's why I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily go to church and they rather watch church on television or they rather stream it because they don't have to deal with that. They can give what they want to give, how they want to give, and don't have to feel embarrassed if they are short a little bit or if they got in the wrong line.
And if not, I'm gonna use that excuse anyway. See, this is why I don't go to church now.
Hal ini sejalan dengan tren penurunan tingkat kehadiran jemaat gereja di Amerika Serikat. Survei independen menunjukkan bahwa jumlah orang dewasa yang tergabung aktif dalam gereja terus menurun dalam beberapa dekade terakhir.
More people here converting to Islam or to Christianity?
Just anecdotally, I'd say that Islam's on the rise here. I do know Christianity, including our denomination here in St. Cloud, is not growing. It's actually declining.
Tidak hanya itu, seorang pengelola gereja lainnya juga menyebutkan komunitas Kristen di Amerika enggan memiliki anak dan lebih memilih memelihara anjing dan kucing.
You know, I'm not an expert, but you know, if I look at they're averaging 5 children, I think we're only 2 generations away.
How many kids are the Christians or the people averaging here?
0. They have more cats and dogs. I hate to say it.
Data sensus agama tahun 2020 memperkirakan ada sekitar 4,5 juta penduduk muslim di negara itu. Jumlah tersebut setara dengan 1% dari total populasi warga Amerika Serikat sendiri. Meski tergolong relatif kecil, Namun sebagian pihak tampaknya sudah merasa panik dan was-was.
Watch what happens here with numbers. And look at the spike. Christianity, every year, smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Islam, every year, bigger and bigger. They just cracked 20, okay? Every year. Christianity is now at 30% in 2011.
It's like horse racing.
And you see Islam coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, and look at the difference now.
Atheist in third place now.
At the beginning, the difference was 24% difference between Christians and Muslims. Okay? Do you know what it is at the end today? You know what the difference is? No, 5%. 29 to 24%. What does this say? From a competitive standpoint, as a guy who's a competitor, you know what I say? Good for them. You're competing, you're out producing kids, and you're converting, and you're sharing your message, you're playing offense. Just to kind of put that in perspective, Christianity went from 39 to 29, Islam went from 15 to 24, the gap is 5, that's 2023. At this pace, they'll be passing it up in no time, and they want to bring that message to a city near you.
Isu pengambil alihan negara dan penerapan hukum syariat kerap muncul di permukaan menjadi diskusi hangat.
They want to make America like Dearborn. Maybe some of you guys want that. Maybe to some it's okay. But the reason why America excelled so good, and next year we're celebrating 250 years, was because if you came to America, you came here for the values and principles. You didn't come to America to change it. I came to America saying, I freaking love this country. All this stuff that you guys gave me, I want to freaking support it, and I want to lift it up. Let's go. Others come here and they're like, no, we're going to make this like our country. What are you thinking?
They're taking over. It's over.
Menyadari tantangan persepsi sosial itu, sejumlah tempat ibadah Islam dan organisasi dakwah di Amerika mulai melakukan pendekatan langsung, membuka komunitas lewat open house masjid, mengundang non-muslim untuk berdialog dan belajar, serta menyelenggarakan program dakwah di ruang publik.
So that's about marriage. So if we marry with that foundation, that means there's a minimal chance of divorce. Right. Yes. Compared to in this country, like 54%, come on. And the children, they suffer.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, my neighbors in Skokie, Mountain Grove, they split up, and now the young guy, the child, now he's going back and forth this weekend and that weekend. Come on, that's torture.
Yeah.
Torture for every person.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, so in Islam, we say that the building blocks of a healthy civilization is a stable marriage. So Islam emphasizes on marriage. Who to choose, then how to conduct the marriage, and how to live in peace and harmony and love and compassion with the spouse. Full details are given in the Quran and through Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Yeah, that's Islam.
Langkah-langkah seperti itu dianggap perlu untuk membangun pemahaman dan mereduksi framing negatif media melalui interaksi nyata, bukan sekadar wacana.
I don't have a question. I am female. I want to say that when I heard of this invitation, I was a little bit skeptical. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought this was the best thing for this community.
Thank you. That means a lot, actually.
It is bringing us all together.
Yes, go ahead, the brother over there.
I just wanted to say I've lived in several different communities and had several houses and places I've lived. And not until my neighbor Bashar Khan here moved in next to us did I understand true neighborly compassion and interaction. And I just want to say that has made all the difference in the world in my life and my wife's life for having really good neighbors. And they are an Islamic family, and it's been wonderful.
Thank you for coming in. Big hand for the neighbor, mashallah, right? That's how Muslims are supposed to be. The best people, the best neighbors, yes. Very good.